wanted to get into your mind as to why you keep taking it in, keep putting yourself in that traumatic state of mind. I want to understand that from your point of view to see why you feel that that's something so
I've honestly
important.
felt the same thing, Lester. Just, I don't want to interrupt you, but I felt this. I want to know, why are you filling your mind with this?
For me, because I like living in truth, and I think that, to not. I'm glad you asked this question, because I'm about to hit something real quick. Especially as a Black person, I feel like to not know that history is a disservice to yourself. And the reason why is because, like, it kind of goes back to what you just said. Everybody lives what they've been taught. They live what, you know, um, basically they live in their own world, in their own bubble. And whether you was taught this information or not, as a Black person, to not try to go out and seek this information, it's almost like you're not living in reality. Because at the end of the day, when you go out for these job interviews, and you're getting shut down at every door, and you're like, maybe they just found the better person. It's like, nah, you got to be able to accept that. No, you probably were the better person, but you didn't look the part. You know what I'm saying? And so, while it could be traumatic, it's also very to me, I find it being like down to earth, calling it a spade, and calling it what it is, and at least knowing that information, because I'd much rather know. And I was going to text y'all this earlier, but I didn't, because I was watching the 42 movie with Jackie Robinson story, and I haven't seen that. It's been out since 2013. I've been wanting to watch it. I just never sat down to actually watch it. And that movie to me was like Black excellence. And I'm super for Black excellence, but I'm super against Black ignorance. And that to me is why I go out and seek this information, because I want to know it. Whether it's traumatic or negative in some people's minds. To me, I feel like not knowing that is again a disservice to myself.
Yeah. Well, no, and you know what? Halfway between what you were just saying, I kept saying why, but why? But then you reeled it all back. It does provide clarity to issues that you go through that you might have been ignorant of if you didn't know that this stuff has always been happening, and there's just systematically happening, and that's the one thing you always bring up. And so that makes it different, and that's why, I mean, me knowing that, and I've like I knew the Jackie Robinson story, and I knew that clip you sent, what he told the manager about you can't bring him here.
Right.
I knew that without seeing the movie, just because I knew the history of it. So it's just like, knowing that, what is that doing for me? Like, I know it. And like I said, like me and Lester say, come as Spanish people, how do we absorb it? How do we see it? So I watched it and I've learned all the history, but I still never saw myself feeling that. But I trust me, like, my name is Fernandez. My last name is Fernandez, and I'm a short, 5'6" Spanish dude working in the corporate environment for 20 years now with all these high ups that are all old white dudes.
Right.
So there was less respect shown, but I never saw it as race. I just thought, oh, maybe, I'm inexperienced. Like you said, maybe I was inexperienced, and maybe I was new to the game, and I was, I'm a little more confident than them. But yeah, it could have simply just purely been race.
and I mean, again, with both of you having your backgrounds, I would never come on here like I know the history of being Puerto Rican, or I know, the history of being Peruvian, you know what I'm saying, or anything. Because at the end of the day, I'm not seeking that information, because let's be real, that won't affect, knowing that information isn't going to be internally affecting me. Like, I'm not going to go out to a job and be like, oh man, I didn't get that job because he thought I was Puerto Rican. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, and it kind of goes back to answer your question. It just gives me a much deeper understanding and a much deeper awareness.
Clarity.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, you do look a little Puerto Rican with that mustache, though.
Yeah, a little
you
bit.
See, we got the same little vibe going on. I don't know if you went in there like, papi.
But